3, 2, 1, bombs away. My first desire in the world was to fly airplanes for a living. And so from age 15 to age 30, I was working hard on that goal. And by age 30, I had actually achieved it. And so I spent 3 years in college, then I graduated, went to navigator school, spent 6 more years being a navigator in a B-52 and fighting to get back to pilot training. It wasn't until I was 27 that I got into pilot training, graduated at 28, another couple of years to get all the training so that eventually, as I'm 31 years old, I'm at the peak of my career. There were no windows of opportunity that would be closed to me at that level. So as I'm standing on that 10-story building, looking out over the land, it all looks really good. Then I met the love of my life, Annie. And here's a piece of that story. You have to understand that Annie met her Prince Charming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she and I are at this military school together. She meets me. I have all the good qualities of a pilot that she liked. Well, it was interesting because one of the things that was a plus and an interesting slip was that what she loved about me was I wasn't the normal egocentric maverick Tom Cruise pilot guy. I was like a caring pilot, but I was much different than the other guys that I was flying with. And here Annie and I, our careers are expanding, but she gets sent over to Okinawa, and part of the thing that happens is that communication between the two of us was really important to us, but very hard. So we wrote letters every day. We wrote letters.
Wow.
Then we started recording. Remember little cassette tapes?
I do remember.
We got the little shoebox recorder, and we put the cassette tape in, and we recorded, hey, how am I doing? What am I thinking about? And all of that just to say that part of the story is that as we were communicating, after a while, we ran out of material. And so we started telling fantasy stories to each other. And what was interesting to me is that my fantasies started towards me being female. But it was then probably 2 years later when I was in a chat room, and I won't go through the whole spiel, but I'm in a chat room and I connect to some men who are talking about the fact that they're transgender. And honest to God, it was just the puzzle pieces came together. Understand the incredible emotions that go with this. Here I am, married, 3 kids, super career going in the Air Force. And then all of a sudden, then I come to the realization that I'm transgender. And then somehow, some way, I'm going to move from Lawrence, the macho Tom Cruise pilot guy, to Laura, the life coach that is in front of you now. And how am I going to do that? When I was thinking about, well, did fear come in here? It's like, are you kidding me? You know what? You know how scary this is. When you're standing on that cliff and your choice is lean back or fall forward, it's scary. And one of the things that I knew from what research I did early on when I found this term transgender is that there was lots and lots of stories about how if this happens, in my case, male to female, when that happens, and the man says, hey, this is who I am, everything busts apart. Everything busts apart. And Annie and I decided that we were not going to play that game. And one of the things we chose was our attitude, and I talk about this, choosing your attitude. So we chose that this was not a curse, this was a blessing. And it has been a blessing. But part of what we had to do was imagine an ending that worked for us. And I said, I'm going to go as slow as I can in this transition to understand what it is and to make time for you to adjust. And Annie said, well, I'm going to try to adjust as fast as I can to give you the chance to be the person that you can be. And that's how we wrote the story. This is how we got to where we were. You can write your own story, and that's such an important message to hear. This vision that you're seeing right now is my authentic self, and I think that I bring to the world an interesting example of what authentic self can be. If you want to live the fly high life, you want to get the right perspective, have a great vision, deal with fear, and don't let anybody steal your dream. This is Laura Meeks. Go out and make it a great week. I will see you here on Transformation Talk Radio.